Alright, hello and good morning everyone. This vlog is going to be a little bit more like a vlog if I have my way. I have mentioned this already, but with graduation comes basically moving on and starting a new life. I'm going to be documenting a little bit of this. I'm not sure how much of it I'm going to be sharing, but I just wanted to have a little bit of this because it is a big one, and hopefully, unlike the last few times, there is no real date if I will ever be back. Besides for visits, of course. This is kind of marks the start of my independence again, basically. And so I'm really happy about that. I think what I'm going to end up doing is going through a few different rooms today and all of that. So for those of you who aren't aware, I've actually been living at home since I finished university. And the big reason for that was because I was really sick. And I couldn't work for the longest period of time, so there's no way to gain an independence. And then I had a job that was really, really close to home, so I'm just like, might as well save on living expenses, and I didn't have to drive to get there, so it was perfect. It is drivable to where I'm gonna be, technically from where I live, but I didn't want to have to deal with that in the wintertime, which in Saskatchewan, winter can last like 6 months of the year. So I decided to make the move and all of that, and we'll see how it goes. I'm really, really excited for this and all of that, but there's still a lot of work left to do. Like I said, I don't know how much of this I'm going to be sharing, but I definitely want to share some of it. I'm currently in my room right now. It's a little bit of a disaster just because of the fact that a lot of stuff was moved out of here already. I do have to start somewhere and I have to decide what I'm taking, and I think the rest of it I'm just gonna shove in a closet somewhere. What I'm gonna be doing is actually taking everything upstairs so that's all in one area, and we'll kind of see what I have. What's going on today is I'm going through basically all of my stuff, trying to get it all together so that all that really needs to be done is it packed up and all of that stuff. I also have to determine if I've got to do any laundry. I'm hoping that if there is some, that there's not much. And then I'm also going to be making a list because there's obviously stuff that I still need until the day I actually move and all of that. And actually, by the time this video goes up, I will have been moved already. So that's really exciting, actually, and really terrifying at the same time. So I'm going to probably also just make a list of everything that I use all the time that needs to come with me, but that I will need until the morning of, so that I make sure that I actually do have everything. All right, so one thing that's really unfortunate actually about the program is they get us to purchase scrubs for the labs, which I understand in a way, but honestly, like most community pharmacies are business casual. So, like, you actually need business type stuff. So, all of the scrubs that I purchased actually are basically like just kind of in limbo. And another really sad thing was when I was in my hospital rotation, I couldn't even use it during then because they actually had students change into the hospital scrubs. And it was required during like when you're in the IV room and all of that. The one thing I really liked about my hospital rotation actually was that I could wear whatever I wanted because I had to change into the scrubs when I got there. So that was really great. But as for like purchasing all these scrubs, it was really expensive to do that, and now it just feels like I'm never going to use them again. I am going to keep some around for videos and the possibility of maybe eventually going to like doing something with them, but just so that I don't have to purchase them again. But yeah, it's really unfortunate actually that we don't really have an opportunity to use them again. All right, so update everybody. I realized while I was finishing up my clothes and like getting ready to like do a load of laundry that what I was wearing I was gonna want to take with me. So I'm like, oh goodness, now I need to figure out something that I can wear that I'm not gonna want to take with me. So he was like, wait, I've got all those scrubs that I don't have to take with me. So I'm like, I'm gonna throw on a pair of those. I've got my black scrub pants and then just a t-shirt that I don't want to take with me. So that worked out really well actually. And then I need to do a load of laundry for I think I've got about well, it'd be a full load for sure, I think, of stuff between the stuff that I took with me while I was gone over the weekend and then just the dirty clothes that were like beside my bed basically. Like not beside my bed, but like in a basket beside my bed of like the stuff I was putting into every night. I don't know if you can see behind me there, but I've got my dress clothes, like my business casual clothes, actually on hangers, as well as a dress that I have that I sometimes like to wear. And then what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna empty the suitcase that is the suitcase I actually took with me this weekend and use that little one for all of my dress clothes. Ideally, those get hung up as soon as possible because otherwise they get really wrinkly and it drives me absolutely nuts. So I'm going to take the clothes out of that black suitcase and then take the stuff that is in that basket and put them together. Thankfully, I have a pretty big washer here, but everything I think in my room besides the one drawer now, I think I've gone through and I'm happy with. So I've just got to continue with that. And then I think everything will be good there. So that's great. All right, everyone. So here is my old school room. Looks pretty different, doesn't it? So as far as stuff left to go, just the printer and the stand, and then over here I got everything except for somehow this one box here was missed. I don't even know if I'm showing it. Yeah, this box was missed. So yeah, that should be everything out of here. I got my room, like my bedroom, all gone through, and I feel pretty good about that. I won't be taking any of my supplies that I used either for like the sterile compounding stuff. I just don't care to take it with me. I'm not gonna need it. Don't think I'm gonna take this rolly hamper with me. I'm probably gonna just take one of those little baskets with me because the washer and dryer in the suite is a stackable one. So I'm gonna have to do smaller loads of laundry anyways, and those little baskets that I have are probably perfect for like what'll actually fit in it. Right now I'm just doing a load of laundry and then I taken a few things upstairs that I was able to actually carry. I don't want to do too much though. If I do too much, I'm gonna end up getting really, really sore, so I don't want to do that. But yeah, I think that's everything that I'm taking from down here, anyways. I don't think there's anything else that I want to take because I've got enough blankets and that. Although I did think about taking that one of mine that I made. I think that's it for down here. Now I just have to go through kitchen stuff and the room upstairs and then bathroom, but I think most of the bathroom stuff I'm gonna end up having to actually buy. Like, that's not in my little travel thing already. I'm probably gonna end up having to buy that kind of stuff. Cause like when I went for the place that was furnished back in Saskatoon, all of that stuff was there besides basically toilet paper. So, and even I had a roll of toilet paper for a while that was enough to last me for quite a bit. I think that's it though. I think I've gotten a lot of it so far, and a lot of it's already actually where we're storing it for right now. But yeah, moving day's Friday, so it's not going to be that long and it's going to be in there. I don't know, this video might end before then. We'll see. I might take Sunday to edit it too. I haven't decided yet. All right, everyone. So it is actually the next day. I ran out of steam after doing one level of the house, so I'm gonna do the next level now. I'm not sure how much I'm actually gonna have for kitchen stuff because most of it is already packed and ready to go. And then I gotta not trip over the cat. He will not be coming with me, unfortunately, but I'm not sure he'd do well with another move. When we got him, he had to move like, what was it, 4 hours? 4.5 hours. And he does not like 5 minutes in the car. Hey everyone, sorry if the audio is a little rough in this section, but I'm on my phone because everything is packed. It is Friday morning. Lots of mixed emotions today. I've basically lived in the same town since I was born. This move is essentially leaving that. It is a pretty big deal, honestly. Like, so the place I've lived in all my life, minus my 4 years of university and basically 2 months while I was gone for in person for the tech program. This has been my home. I haven't been in the same house, obviously, for those many years, but it's essentially like the same town. So that's the one of the another reason why this is pretty big. Like with school, I wasn't sure where I was gonna end up. Like I thought that it might be the last time I was in the same city I was born and raised in, but turns out I came back. So that's a big deal when you make moves like that, basically. I'm so gross and sweaty just because of how, like, humid it is in the air right now. Like, the humidity is just ridiculous, so I also feel like I need a shower, but it'll be probably at least end of day before that happens, unfortunately. But yeah, that's it for now. I'll probably just show like bits and pieces from here on out before I get everything actually done. And then I will do a full like tour of the place once I'm actually settled in. All right, everyone, it is Sunday evening and I'm finally, I think, getting somewhat organized. Since I'm somewhat organized, I'm going to do a tour now. It might appear to be a little empty, but I obviously don't have a lot when it comes to furniture because I've been not on my own for like about 8 years. That is due to the IIH. So that should show you about where I am in that journey. Here's the front door right here. And then you come into the apartment and that's what it looks like. I'll show you more, but I'm gonna do like a proper tour here. So in here is a really nice closet actually. So I've got like my outdoor sweaters, I've got like cleaning supplies, and then this is gonna be a freezer eventually. I just got it today, so I don't have it plugged in yet. Everything is in the top freezer in the fridge. But it will be nice to have this once I'm like in a few days, basically. I'm good for now for groceries, but it will be nice to have this, particularly when, like, for getting frozen. Mainly, probably frozen stuff is what I'm going to keep in there. Haven't really thought of it yet, but so that's kind of in there. And like electrical panel and all of that too is in there. Over here, got a command hook up, and this is where I'm keeping my keys and all of that. I do have to drive to where I'm working. It is not close enough to walk, unfortunately. I'm really gonna miss that about life, basically, being 5 minutes away from work and all of that. I had a stackable when I was in Saskatoon for a couple months, so I do know what to expect with it. And the only thing about it is that the load capacity is pretty small. So if I ever have to do quilts or something like that, I might just do that when I like go home or something because my parents have a really big washer and dryer. But when you have a space like this, you don't have room for it. So here's the kitchen. Um, This is my pride and joy, my air fryer. I pretty much use it exclusively. Like, I have an oven and a stove, but to be honest with you guys, I probably won't end up using it very much. Um, I used the oven once in 2 months when I was in Saskatoon, and it was when my mom brought a turkey for Easter. So that's how much I use that. Sorry about the Tupperware everywhere, but I'm still putting stuff away, so things are going to be a little bit all over the place and maybe look a little bit empty. So yeah, got cupboards everywhere. The storage in this place is amazing. Microwave is actually like sits on a thing that's got a fan in it too, so the outside venting fan is a part of it. I was used to that from my where when I stayed in Saskatoon as well, so that's kind of nice to have that again because once I figured out what it did, it was great. It just took until almost the very end. Okay, so out here, so there really isn't a good space for a table, and honestly, trying with the carpet, like it's still out here, like right to the counters, but decided to go kind of with this popular trend right now of having like bar stool chairs that you sit at the counter instead to eat. So the chairs are actually really comfortable too, so I really like that. Now I actually have all of my school set up as well. So I have my desk that I have my printer and my stand exactly like I had it because my schooling technically is I've graduated, but technicians have to complete a basically another course after you're done as a part of the registration process. And this course, I'm gonna essentially have like the same thing that I did for the last few months. It's just gonna basically be a compact thing, and they're gonna be like, can you actually do the things to like can you actually use your full scope basically is kind of what they do with it. But yeah, so I've got all my school stuffs because once I figure out when I'm going to be starting to do that, I'm probably going to have work to do on weekends. There's going to be studying for the PEBCs probably as soon as I can here because I'm only a couple of months away from those. So it's going to depend basically on what the order I decide to do things in. I've also got jurisprudence exam. So still a lot of things left to do before I become registered and all of that. So and that's kind of what I'm going to be showing probably from now on about how I'm deciding to approach that. The hardest thing obviously is going to be working full time and trying to do that at the same time. That's where the challenge is going to be, especially since I'm going to be on my own. Here is the kind of the one piece of furniture I have, just like a little love seat beside. And then over here, haven't got them up yet, but you'll notice these actually will change. So I have my convocation photo for farm tech, and then my code of ethics will be in another one, but I just haven't gotten to them yet. So right now they're just the generic buildings, and I noticed this one is upside down. Let's fix that. I didn't really pay attention to it when I was just setting things up. So there's like all that. And then the books on the bottom, just again, just because I'm not technically fully done with my education. And honestly, farm techs never really are in Saskatchewan because every year you have to do continuing education as part of your registration, renewing your registration every year. So yeah, let's turn this on so it's all light, just so that I have a little bit of light. Here is this. Okay, so this could be two different things. You could have it as a linen closet or you could have it as a pantry. I chose to do it as a pantry just because I wanted to use that other closet at the front more as like, all of the outdoor type stuff. And I feel like in Saskatchewan, because of winter, we have quite a bit of that. So yeah, I've kind of got it organized a little bit. And then paper towels and stuff on the bottom. Obviously, everything is gluten-free, and the thing is that if you see something that you're like, oh, I'm not sure about that, I do read the ingredients on absolutely everything, except for anything marked gluten-free because there are regulations to that. So anything is required to be gluten-free is in there, and then anything else that isn't technically labeled gluten-free, depending on the ingredients, I will try it. If I have a problem with it, obviously won't use it again, but if I don't, then I'm like, well, it probably isn't a problem. So anyways, here's the bathroom. I had to get an organizer because there's not really much. There's no drawers, but there's like an under the spots for the sink. And then, yeah, so there's just that organizer. Here's shower curtain. I really picked a nice one actually. And then just the towel rack. It's really small bathroom, but it's all I need. And then last room in here is my bedroom. So my bed, I have a fan. I'm one of those weird people who needs a fan even when it's -40 outside. So dresser over here, closet. I got all my clothes hung up finally. I wasn't gonna hang up anything except my work clothes and then my dress, one dress that I have. But then I decided that actually I'm going to hang up my sweaters just because I didn't have room for them in the dresser. And then this is what I'm kind of treating as like my linen closet plus some extra storage for bags and stuff. I did actually end up getting like a cart thing that I can use for groceries just to make it a little bit easier on me because I struggle with carrying really heavy items. And I do have to walk a little bit. I do have a little bit of an outdoor space. It is way too hot. I'm not opening this door. So what we'll do maybe is I'll just open this. Well, you're not gonna be able to see out of that anyways, because it's like the sun is on that side. There's a nice patio or like deck area. I just got my chair out there, but it's way too hot to go outside. It's been like mid 40s today with what it feels like outside, so I'm not opening that door. That's the tour. It's perfect size for me. I'm really, really happy with it. Oh yeah, I guess meditation chair, you might not have seen that when I was showing the stuff. I actually just put that out. I haven't done much formal meditation practice in a while, but I decided why not? We'll throw it on, throw it in there. That way it's out of the closet and actually out for one. Tomorrow I start my new job and all of that. I'm terrified and excited at the same time. I'm just hoping that it goes okay, but I'm sure it will. It's just gonna take a little bit of getting used to again. Being on my own is a big change. New job is always intimidating. This is what we've been building towards for the last couple of years. And now I just need to get through these next few steps in order to become registered, and then I'll be pretty much fully free from that part of it anyways. But I'm sure there'll come a point where I do miss the school, but I definitely don't miss the homework already. Like, but then again, I'm gonna probably have that again anyways. So yeah, I'm just hoping everything goes smoothly because it's so intimidating. It's a lot, and it's a lot of change at once. So like ideally, when I move, I like to give myself about a solid probably 3 or 4 days in a new spot before, like, after I'm actually done everything to just get used to it and not have it so that the change is like right back to back. But this time it just didn't work out. So I actually moved like at the end of this last week and I've only been here for a few days. So it's just going to take a little bit to get used to it. And so there's going to be a little bit of that unknowns for a little bit. I think I'll feel better though once I've had a couple of days at work and can get an idea of like that again. I feel very removed from retail pharmacy, like that kind of pharmacy, because my practicum rotations were very different from anything I've been used to. So it's just going to take getting used to the procedures and all of that again and having customer interaction again because it's been like 4 months. I feel very removed. I'm sure there's stuff that I just don't know. If you're interested again in seeing more of this craziness over the next few months, please do subscribe, hit the like button, make sure your notifications are turned on. I don't really know what I'm going to be showing because I don't really know what my direction is right at this point in time. Thanks for joining me for this one. I know it was probably felt like a little bit of a gap between today and where I left off, but it's really hard to film like that kind of stuff because without like a GoPro or something where I can have my hands free and just kind of showing everything that I'm doing, it's really difficult. And obviously, I don't want to be spending any extra money right now. This has been a very expensive weekend too. So, be nice to be making an actual income again, going to work and actually making an income again. So, but yeah, thanks for joining me, everyone, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.